Hello everyone and welcome back to the Canals report coverage of the IEM Katowice 2019 Major. At the end of the previous video, we had just gotten through all the best of 1 matches, so we'll be continuing here starting with the best of 3s. The opening match was fnatic vs Grayhound, starting on fnatic's pick of Inferno. Grayhound took the pistol round along with the round following it, but fnatic quickly put a stop to any momentum they might have been able to gain, taking 13 rounds in a row to bring it to halftime at 13-2. Grayhound looked a little bit stronger on their T side, but fnatic only needed a few more rounds, Grayhound couldn't hold them off forever, and the map ended 16-9 for fnatic. The first half of Overpass was much more competitive, fnatic only holding a 9-6 advantage at the half, but Grayhound couldn't make use of their comparatively better position and fell all the same, the map ending 16-11 and the match ending 2-0 in favor of fnatic. With that loss, Grayhound was also eliminated from the tournament. Up next was Ence vs Renegades in the 2-0 bracket, meaning that the winner of the match would immediately advance to the New Legends stage of the tournament. The match began on Nuke, where Ence struggled to get anything started on their T side, only winning 4 rounds in the first half. The second half was a little bit better in that they won 3 out of 8 rounds, but they weren't even able to come close to overtime, let alone winning the map. Nuke ended 16-7 for Renegades and left Ence wondering how to reset mentally for the next map. Mirage started significantly more competitive, with Ence edging out an 8-7 advantage at the half, and they continued to look strong afterwards, taking 5 of the first 8 rounds after the half, but Renegades came back strong themselves, winning 5 rounds in a row to take it to match point, including a great clutch from Gratisfaction.
TYLOO surely going to catch him on the cross. Ooh, that's fast. TYLOO, known for his speed. Gratisfaction, he's got his eagle eyes on, and now a 1v1. He could secure 14 for them, he could just dominate the money events. He's in the right place, but the bullets aren't there. Backing away now, X7 up against Gratisfaction as these two lock horns. He looks good, he goes wide, Gratisfaction's done it.
Ence won the next round, but couldn't quite clutch out overtime, and the Renegades took the match 2-0 and moved on to the next phase of the tournament. The following match was Spirit vs FURIA, starting on Mirage. FURIA dominated on CT, bringing the first half to a close at 13-2. Spirit showed some signs of life during the second half, reversing a loss in the pistol round to take the next 6 rounds in a row, but they were incapable of coming back from their 12-round deficit, and the map ended 16-9 for FURIA. Nuke's first half looked much stronger for Spirit, with the Russia-based team holding FURIA to 6 rounds at halftime in addition to winning the first 3 after the half, but FURIA struck back, taking 7 rounds in a row to put themselves back in the lead. The map came down to the 30th round, and FURIA came out on top on the back of superior team play and questionable bomb positioning from Spirit, eliminating Team Spirit from the tournament with a 0-3 record. The final match of Day 2 was NRG vs TYLOO, another advancement match. The match started on NRG's pick of Inferno, where the teams traded win streaks for the entire first half, NRG taking the first 6 rounds before TYLOO picked up the back 9. NRG quickly evened things up in the second half with 5 rounds in a row before TYLOO got themselves back together, bringing the score to 14-13 and forcing NRG into a situation where they had to win the 3 remaining rounds to dodge overtime. NRG wiped TYLOO 2 rounds in a row, putting them on a suboptimal bye for the 30th, and TYLOO couldn't force overtime as NRG rotated players to A and collapsed on TYLOO by the time their aggression came out, ending the map 16-14. NRG won the advantage in the first half of Mirage, ViCi putting his team on his back for the 2nd map in a row and earning frag after frag on the Chinese team. One of TYLOO's only rounds came off the back of a chaotic push from somebody through a smoke.
They've actually boosted through. What's happened? Somebody! He's causing utter destruction! He's always running through smokes! Snacks is gone, it's somebody now! And another one with the AWP to finish it.
The first half closed with a 10-5 advantage for NRG, and they won 5 of the first 7 rounds in the second half to bring it to match point. TYLOO almost looked like they were going to win out and force overtime, but the 29th round went NRG's way and TYLOO were kept from qualifying with a 3-0 score. ViCi was the clear MVP of the match with a monstrous 72 kills, leaving the second highest fragger Bentet in the dust with a full 26 more kills across the match. NRG moved on to the New Legends stage with a 3-0 record and high spirits at the end of Day 2. Day 3 began with Vitality vs ViCi on ViCi's pick of Inferno, and the teams traded strong CT halves, ViCi taking the first half 10-5 and bringing the score all the way to 14-7 in the second half before Vitality started to come back, taking 8 rounds in a row thanks in part to more aggressive holds, including a 4K from Zywoo in an unexpected angle.
Sight and giving all that map control over. Look at ZywOo, he's still holding the angle, that's beautiful. Joking goes down, he's gonna go for more and he gets it. Now ZywOo stepping up, now he's heating up and he's got a third headshot as well. All 4 kills.
ViCi managed to win the 30th round and send the teams into what would prove to be an absolutely grueling overtime phase, where the first 2 overtimes went even and the teams entered a third overtime at 21-21. ZywOo put ViCi into a 2v4 situation with a quick op 3k when Kaze and Freeman rotated to B and pulled an excellent clutch out of their hats.
From CT side, which they're doing right now. They do have a smoke, which has just been tossed out in 3 flashbangs. The downside is no HEs or Molotovs, and Kaze, he's able to claim the first blood. Oh, they line up, and he's gonna get a kill alongside Freeman, and gets the clutch. ViCi have actually pulled that 2v4 clutch out of the hat.
Nuke started similarly close, with the teams trading short win streaks until round 10, where Joking got a clean 4k with height advantage.
Kaze is going to give up the angle. That is a dirty angle in and of itself, but he can't build up upon it. It's up on top of the hut. Zoking going to get some work done. 3 kills for him, saving the round, bringing it back into the favor of ViCi, and then just finishing it off with a 4th.
The game stayed neck and neck until 7-7 when Alman stacked up 3 of Vitality's members at the entrance to vent and sprayed them down from the ladder.
Here comes the UMP spray. He's not gonna claim kills. ZywOo doubles up with a molly and an AWP. And Alman, oh, he's point blank range, spraying on the ladder. And he will be the gatekeeper to vent and will not let them pass.
The half ended 8-7 for ViCi, and both teams prepared for what could have easily turned into another overtime slugfest, but Vitality started to pull away with the game after the first 5 rounds of the second half, and ViCi couldn't quite come back in time. The map ended 16-12, qualifying Vitality for the new Legends stage and putting ViCi into a tenuous position for their final match in the Challengers stage. The next match was TYLOO vs Avangar, which started on Avangar's pick of Cash. TYLOO managed to nearly equalize an early round deficit to bring the first half to an 8-7 finish, and they picked up the first 4 rounds in the second half as well. Avangar fired back though, taking 8 rounds to TYLOO's 1 and closing the map 16-12. TYLOO looked shaky going into Inferno, giving up 10 rounds in the first half and letting Avangar take them to match point in just 20 rounds, but they rallied back at the last possible moment, winning 9 rounds in a row to bring the map to round 30. Avangar finally got their act together in the last round, though, and pulled the possibility of overtime away from TYLOO at the last second, winning the map 16-14, the match 2-0, and qualifying them for the new Legends stage. TYLOO, on the other hand, were forced into a win-and-in situation with a 2-2 record. The next match was Ence vs Winstrike in the 2-1 bracket, which started on Winstrike's pick of Dust 2. Ence took a loss in the pistol round, but recovered economically on the 4th round and took 11 of the remaining 12 rounds in the half to close it at 11-4. After the half, Ence snuck in around here and there to bring things to map point at 15-10, where they lost the round and were forced to do a full eco, which they actually won after walking their way through a Molotov on the way from Catwalk to A.
Exactly like that. I'm
Yes.
not aware of that.
It's because you were part of a sorority instead. Quick with 1. Sergey, the pistols are going to make this almost work. Low HP though at this range. 8K.
There's an AWP.
Hello, Zevin. You're right. They've got a gun. It's a 2-on-2. No armor to play with. Except for Alexa, but he's got 7 HP. Doesn't matter with the AWP. Doesn't matter about the armor. They've closed it out on that alone. It's 16-11. Fantastic.
That ended Dust 2 16-11 for Ence and brought the series to Mirage. Ence couldn't get anything at all started on their T side and left the first half with only 2 round wins. Things might have looked a little better for them in the second half if they weren't already down so far, but Winstrike managed to close the second half out in 8 rounds, winning the map 16-7 and equalizing the map count, both teams having traded losses on their own map picks. That left Train as the deciding map, and Ence set up an absolute meat grinder during their first half on CT. In round 9, Sergey was shoved into a tense 1v3 without much time left, but tore everyone down with some incredible play.
Around on the board. If he gets the bomb denied here, oh my goodness. He actually has a chance here. This is unbelievable. 1 versus 1 now! That is so sick from Sergey!
Winstrike couldn't get in at all without trading at a disadvantage and only took a single round in the first half. Winstrike decided to remind everyone about what happened the last 2 times they had played Train in this tournament on CT though, and set up their own brutal CT defense, taking 2 streaks of 6 rounds and nearly forcing overtime before Ence finally won the 29th round and closed the series 2-1 in their favor. That's going to do it for this part, but I highly suggest you click through to the next one right away. If it's not up already, it should be up within just a few hours, so I'll see you soon in the next video.